So we got a nice and cool house inside. Multiple swamp cores going. But this nut, I come out to clean the truck, and she doesn't care about those swamp coolers. She just wants to be in her truck. Crazy dog. This is her favorite place out of anywhere. It's a little too warm though, so being as how she won't go in the house, I guess I'm going to take her for a ride and go do something fun. I know. Angel. Miss Angel and I are back at it again. This is our favorite highway, the Lincoln Highway. This stretch, it's right by Sand Mountain, and there's some really cool stuff out here. I have been out here and I've explored quite a bit, but never really did a video on it. So I thought Miss Nutbag and I would check it out because she's home for a couple days with me, and we'll see if we find some pretty cool stuff. Now we're probably about 40-50 miles, I'm guessing, east of Fallon. It may be less than that. I'd say within 40-50 miles of Fallon. And this is allegedly the loneliest road in America, this stretch. But that's actually debatable, because if you ever driven across US 6 across the length of Nevada, that you want to talk about a lonely road. I think that's a little lonelier than US 50 is out here. But you know, it's still, they're both probably about equal. So, and they kind of parallel to each other, except the great distance between the two. But they're both basically east to west routes. And yeah. So let's go ahead and see what we can find and see some pretty cool stuff out here. Ah, she missed it. I don't know what these are, but there's a bunch of tiny little animals. Little furry nutballs. They keep, there's one over there. They keep running. And she's having a blast trying to find one. There it is. Witness post. Please do not disturb nearby survey markers. The rest is bent, so I can't read it. These, though, these survey markers. 1955. I've seen older ones. Older plaques. But that one, of course, is 1955. I don't remember this sign, but I did find one of these out here. And in fact, it wasn't on a circular piece of concrete. It was actually on kind of like a square shape. So this isn't the one I found, but there's a few of those out there and on other stretches of Lincoln Highway. But you can also find those markers if you go to Tonopah. I don't remember what building it is. It might be the post office, but there's one like right on the building. And if you go to the Hoover Dam, there's also those markers on the Hoover Dam as well. So they're pretty cool. Now, considering the Lincoln Highway was abandoned, so to speak, replaced with other routes in about the 1920s, I say this stretch of asphalt has held up pretty good. However, it is possible that that became part of US 50 for a while. So maybe it's not that old. Got some cable over here. Got some steel cable. Can. All right. We have moved. Can. There's actually some really cool cans out here. Hopefully I can find them again. And last time I was out here, I found some, and they were automotive cans. I looked it up, found a site that had classic automotive cans, and I can't remember what it was now. It was something that for automobile of that time era I would have never guessed. It's kind of like that one. All right. Oh, lizard. Red Angel didn't see the lizard. This angel keeps cutting me off. Jeez. Let's see what we got out here. Can. And more cans. Can. There's a lot right here. So this was obviously a campsite for one night. It's kind of crazy to think that probably about 100 years ago, probably around this time, people were just chilling, camped out, maybe parked over here, maybe at a campfire, heating their cans on the coals. And they left their mark. Now those food cans are obviously a lot more common. It's the automotive cans that you don't find a whole lot of. Here's some rebar. It's pretty thick rebar. Now what's interesting about this is it's square. Modern rebar is, I think, most of the time round. The rebar I've seen is round, let's just put it that way. I don't know that you can buy square stuff anymore. This is probably what I'm looking for. Yep. There it is. A lot of these are still out here. Lincoln Highway. Now, I cannot remember off the top of my head where the blue was. I think the blue was at the bottom. So it was red. So the L, whatever color the L was, it's like an orange right now. At least it looks like an orange. Was the base color. And the blue was the color that didn't survive the test of time. It's very cool. See if we can find something out here. You know, also interesting kind of note is where you find those cans. A lot of times they are in places where it's easier to pull off. I mean, there's one right there. But I mean, if you're in a Model T, yeah, you could pull off right there. But back there on the drain, you can't pull off. So here's some more cans. Here's another one. This one, come on, Angel. is in the form I see the most. Oh yeah, that one's 1934. $250 fine or imprisonment. Yeah, 200 bucks in 1934, man. That was probably a small fortune. Some important stuff there. There's a bunch of those concrete things on the highway are missing their little plaques. All right. So a couple years ago, I did come out and take a look at this. Looks like there's ruins off of the old highway, the Lincoln Highway, and still has these concrete structures. Now right there is Sand Mountain. I've yet to get out there. It will happen one day, I'm sure, but it hasn't happened yet. So let's check out this concrete while the truck cools down. Now it has a little road that goes up behind it. Now, I'll be honest, I have no idea what this thing was. Why they needed a road to go up behind it. It's a safe assumption that it has something to do with mining. There's some old steel pieces there. Concrete ruins. Very cool. Angel likes it, although she likes everything. So it has wooden beams up there as well in the dirt. Honestly, it was probably mining. But what's cool is there's a lot left. There's a wheel in there. That was probably a belt wheel. I know enough to probably guess that one. So there's probably a steam engine or something mounted out here, like right there. And then there was a belt that connected there. And honestly, you know, today we have tools and they all have electric motors. But back then, you know, they would use similar tools to what we use today, and they all ran off the same power source. I don't know why we can't still apply some of those old techniques every now and again. I apologize if I paused during my speaking, looking for patterns that resemble snakes. Although most of the time, they're afraid of humans. They just run. We're not run, slither away, whatever. Okay, so the top here of old steel piping. I'll tell you what though, that's a hell of a view. So Sand Mountain out there, if I remember correctly, the wind just takes it out there and it accumulates, creates this big mountain of sand. So it's a favorite for off-roaders that have their little off-roading toys. All right, well, thanks for joining us on our trip on the Lincoln Highway. Lincoln Highway is over there. It's almost right by US 50. Can barely see it from here. It's debatable whether you can see it at all. I wanted to stop here and actually show you something. Doesn't look like much. Salt Wells RV dump. Got a little dump over there, camera. I think it's still active. I don't know what this was before. I'm assuming it was probably an RV park, and now it's just a dump. But this area, I don't know if it's directly through here, whether it's this road or it's offset over there somewhere, or whatever the case may be. In this area, this is where they are projecting Interstate 11 to pass through. So you get a good glimpse of it. Because if Interstate 11 comes through here, there'll probably be a TA right here, a Love's right here, maybe a Pilot on the other side. Walmart, maybe, well, there's already a Walmart a couple miles down the street, but not that close. But yep, this is where it's supposed to go through. Angel! Interstate 11.